Blessings.
Blessings.
Welcoming you all. My name is Rosa.
And I'm Nani.
And we both are healers, seers of Shekinah 3. So today we firstly want to say thank you for those that are joining us now and for those that will probably be watching this live streaming when we're actually in bed, asleep.
Different time room.
So welcoming all you beautiful souls into this gorgeous sanctuary, our Shekinah 3, our hearts. We are talking about an incredible, beautiful schooling program that we have called Rays of Light. And Rays of Light is a schooling program that was beautifully crafted, put together, in other words, for beautiful, highly intuitive, psychic,
sensitive,
neurodiverse,
and spiritual children.
Spiritual, wild, warriors, innovators, those that are weaving the golden threads of this golden age. The children, the rays of light, also known as indigos,
crystals, rainbows,
diamonds, all you beautiful
seeds.
Yes, all you beautiful star seeds. So it has been specifically from our hearts designed and created for you. Being a starseed myself, I kind of come under the label of indigo. I began my journey in an environment that did not nurture my indigo needs.
I think most of us went through that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And that's the sad part. And it is sad that most of us did go through the lack of guidance and nurturance, support. And that can be extremely traumatic for us. So Rays of Light schooling program comes from love. It comes from a calling and a lifetime of experience that has given us an opportunity to be the mothers that we always wanted.
Absolutely.
Now, we love our parents, we love our mothers. Don't misunderstand us.
They did the best with what they had.
Absolutely. What we're trying to explain is there is a specific nurturance, knowledge, wisdom that comes from a elder star child. Okay, so the schooling program, it's quite warm in here.
It's very warm. I just realised it. It's like burning up in here.
So let's get back to what we were talking about. Do you want to just look?
Yeah, I think I'm just going to open the door. Sorry.
I just realised it's really warm in here.
It's like super hot. It's like an inferno.
Yeah. So basically, getting back to what we were talking about, the nurturance that we have decided to really help and guide beautiful starseed children is not only heart-centered, but it's basically about nurturing their uniqueness. And that comes from a compassionate program.
Yes.
It's compassionate in that these are children that don't normally fit in to the ordinary world. You know, a society that we personally feel and believe is quite dysfunctional and traumatized.
And that's the society that deems us weird, different, puts a stereotype on us.
Yeah. So these are children that don't fit into the normal schooling setting.
Yes.
Their differences, their unique qualities can be very nurtured and cared for in more of a safe space where they get to develop their true self. And it's not just about learning how to develop their true essence, but it's about grounding it with confidence and self-worth.
And also learning how to work with their innate abilities as well.
Yeah. So the reason why I wanted to bring up confidence and self-worth is because as an indigo myself, my mother provided me a nurturance that built a foundation that felt unsupported for my abilities, and therefore my sense of self was crafted and created around everything and everyone around me. So the conditioning was not of my world. The conditioning came from a world that I needed to fit into, because as starseeds, we come with a lot of empathy, and that is one specific gift.
Yes.
The clear empath. Also can be known as a clairsentient, also can be called a hayoka. So that clairsentience can go into oversensitivity, overexcitement, and sheer spiritual exhaustion.
Overstimulation, for sure.
Yeah, because they have an innate ability to love at a very extensive level. So when you have a star child, starseed, in an environment that is actually dysfunctional to them, their sense of self, their way of really being in this world, they're what we call the double mission. If that's not supported or seen and even explained, then we tend to grow up in a dysfunctional way of relating to ourselves. We tend to grow up
feeling ashamed.
Well, yes, shame. Something's wrong with me. Sometimes it can also be that we become disassociated. And disassociation can come in many different expressions for a starseed. So sometimes you will have a star child in their disassociation. They don't talk. Sometimes they don't know how to relate to other human beings. Sometimes they will speak a specific ancient language or tongue that doesn't make sense to other people. Sometimes it could be that they're having conversations with spirits that others cannot see. Sometimes they're having these beautiful relationships with, other starseeds from other galactic, beautiful worlds.
Sometimes they're not even on the same plane.
Sometimes they're not even on the same plane, and they're traveling.
Yes.
And they're channeling. So the type of mothering, to get back to the essence of what we're talking about, is celebrating their essence. And so the schooling program really goes into really helping them to ground in their higher calling. So the nourishment that they receive in the Shekinah 3 Rays of Light schooling program comes from a nourishment of deep understanding. We understand.
We've been there.
Yeah. And if you have a starseed that understands their essence and their self-worth, the power in that, how they get to co-create in this reality, is astounding. It's what we call legendary.
Yeah.
These are the legends of the future. You know, they're here to create a new age for us.
Absolutely.
And so our schooling program has a mission. And that's our love, you know, the love that we share, not only for what we were wanting growing up in this world, but the mission is that we, in all our life experiences, get to share that way of being with confidence and support around the children's truth, their ability to be who they truly are in this world without apologizing, and to be the impact and the beautiful source of power, you know, in this world without apologies.
And that's really supporting their strengths, their needs, and their interests here in the physical world.
Yeah. We are very experienced in what we do. So the program is on a Monday, and it goes from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and it goes through to Thursday. So this schooling program is also supported by Nardane Bolchi here and beautiful Martin Sorensen, who's not with us live today. So there are three of us. We're all highly intuitive and do what I believe incredible work, and we're very proud of who we've become in this world and the experiences that we've all gone through as starseeds have truly evolved us.
Transformative.
You know, it's evolved us as human beings in our human experience, but the double mission is now we get to teach these beautiful stars that are coming through how to be in this humanness, but powerful, the balance that's needed. So we're very highly qualified. We have backgrounds in counselling, me specifically in trauma. I specialise in trauma. I work with a lot of holistic therapies, herbalism. Martin does a lot of energy medicine. He's also an alchemist. He does yoga, great body work, and he's also what we call magic hands.
He definitely has magic hands.
He doesn't like that.
Shout out to the magic hands.
So he works really fantastically. So the way he works with specific, highly intuitive, hypersensitive, beautiful souls such as ourselves, he has a wonderful ability to connect and ground in our gifts and our energies in order for us to do our work. Not many body work souls can do that, but Martin is very qualified in this specific area. We also have a lot of experience working with children. Nardane's got a diploma in children's services. We're experienced from babies, beautiful babies, all the way up to the adults, you know. So I've worked one-on-one specifically, not more in a group way, but more one-on-one with starseeds, all the way up until like 28 years old, you know. So our mission is that we believe every child has the potential to make a positive impact on our beautiful Pachamama world, right? Our beautiful mother. Our program is designed to help your child discover and develop their unique strengths and talents. Now, that's actually a promise.
Absolutely.
Because we're very passionate about it. Without the guidance, the form of mothering that we didn't receive, we were able to go through life experiences that helped us to develop the essential ingredients in that form of nurturance. It's a special way to nurture. It's not every mother knows how to do that. And it's not that you failed or that you're inadequate or there's something, you know, wrong with you. It's just the lack of knowledge, you know. It's very difficult when you have a child that is, you know, reacting a certain way and it looks really unusual. It appears, sometimes it can appear quite traumatic. Sometimes the way that they're receiving downloads can look really scary, like an actual shake and abreaction. Sometimes it can even be that they are experiencing relationships with spirit souls that are not in our physical, you know, senses.
Absolutely.
They're picking up the frequency of this soul from a different frequency. So when you get to talk to people such as us, and we work collaboratively, Martin, Nardane and I, we're able to bring in the support for these beautiful children, but not just the children, the parents.
Absolutely.
So this is about us all working together. So if I have a child that, you know, is labelled, I don't know, let's what's the label?
ADHD.
Okay. ADHD, right? So that specifically has, you know, a way of describing a child's behaviour that may not fit in the normal system. So this labelling can at times, I believe, be extremely damaging.
Yes.
So in other words, if I have a child that is moving from one object to another and is finding themselves extremely restless, unable to sit still, this is just one symptom. Unable to regulate their nervous system.
Not able to finish tasks.
Not able to finish tasks. So the
Only
way
interested in creativity and nothing else.
Yeah, that's another big one. They tend to be more outdoors. They want to be in creativity.
Yeah.
They don't like to be enclosed. Sometimes they don't even like to be talked to. They'll scream, you know. Yeah. So we're trained with a lot of the holistic therapies that we teach to help them regulate their emotional bodies. For example, this is called havening. And not only do we teach children some of these beautiful techniques, but what we also do is we allow ourselves to learn from them what they're actually teaching us. Yes. Because if they're unable to communicate in a specific way, they are communicating. And the energy here on earth is at a different frequency than our bodies, are used to. So it's really hard, almost in some ways excruciating, being in some of the sounds, some of the vibrations, the impacts, what do you, like when something's like
shock. It's like...
Yeah, but like the movements, some of the movements can be very triggering to our sympathetic bodies.
Yeah.
So our nervous system regulates at a different frequency. So I might be out in nature and my body naturally regulates, right? For someone who's on some, you know, on the spectrum
on the
or
spectrum,
yeah, has any kind of labeling. So we'll notice these habits. We teach them how to regulate their emotional bodies. We teach them lots of different activities that are more in tune to who they are. We don't want them to fit in. That's the point. Some of the activities I kind of want to talk about that we do is creative visualization.
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about creative visualization. I mean, you know that your child is a starseed when they're just sitting there.
And you're like,
where
Earth to self.
Yeah, Earth.
Yeah, I remember hearing that so much as a child. I was like, come back here.
Yeah. Right? What are they doing, Nardane?
So that's channeling.
Channeling.
So, and a key telltale sign
but they're not listening. They don't focus. They're not listening.
But they're listening to what they should be listening to.
So they're channeling, right? So creative visualization is not about telling them to stop. We notice. We actually can travel with them.
Yes.
We can channel with them. And we see where their strengths are. So, for example, if I've got a channeler that is highly evolved in vision, clear vision, which is clairvoyance, then what we do is we don't disturb them. We allow them to travel, but then we teach them balance.
Yeah.
So the balance is that in the body, for someone who is highly clairvoyant, for example, has that specific psychic ability, is that we teach them how to channel the energy in a productive way without falling into the entrapment of wanting to be there all the time.
Yeah, that's a hard one. I remember that so vividly as a child. That's so true.
Yeah. Have you ever met a reader that will read and read and read and read? Have you ever met one of those? It's great for the sitter.
That's fantastic.
But for the reader, okay, for the one that's channeling the information, it's exhausting.
Yeah, it does get very draining.
They're giving away their life force energy. That's the beautiful, caresses of our beautiful mother. That's the kundalini. That's a beautiful energy, the life force energy in our body, and that's the service. That's the love we give. So as you're sitting with a reader, what they're actually doing, they're being of service. They're sharing their innate abilities with you. Now, if they're channeling, and they don't know how to stop because they get so hyper excited because we love it up there, then we teach them how to channel it in a productive, healthy, boundaries way. And remember, just because one child is highly evolved in clairvoyance, right? And then you've got another child that's also highly evolved in clairvoyance, does not mean they're the same.
No.
They can
work completely different.
Absolutely. So, this is about them teaching us again, and we have the compassion and we care enough to go into that world where we can ground it and give them the skills that is going to be so nourishing for their mind, body and spirit, where they can be of service but not go into these awful label systems or go into the mental health systems or be in their beautiful family environment and feel so utterly alone.
Very alone.
Very alone.
Because you feel so different.
Yeah. So creative visualization is a form of channeling. And like I said, it does depend on the child how the creative visualization is formatted for them. We also do what we call intuitive artwork and crafting. Okay, so would you like to give us an example of any intuitive, work, crafting?
Yes. So just say we're working with paint expression. So we would allow the child to use their abilities, whether they just say they're empathic. Okay, what are we feeling? What colour does that represent?
You need to come into the camera a bit more.
Okay, sorry. What colour does that represent? Or tell me about what you're feeling. Express it.
Feeling.
Yeah.
It's all about the feelings.
Yeah. So then they might create this amazing, how should I say, work of art. And when you look at this work of art, you will feel exactly what they're feeling. They're so innate in their empathy.
So it's crafting from a sense of intuition, but it's coming from a place that is where they're feeling these senses. And intuitive craft work can come in many different ways. We love exploring the hands.
Yeah.
It helps to ground.
Absolutely.
So anything to do with the hands is really important. We have our healing chakras there. So intuitive, artwork and crafting can be anything that comes in connection to the mother. So we've been learning ourselves a lot of this beautiful eco, printing, dyeing, bunching, and that is so much fun. It's also about exploring and learning about Pachamama. So we can also, teach them about the trees, the spirits of the trees. We can teach them about the herbs that they pick. We can teach them about the different seasons as the leaves fall onto the ground and the different shades of colour. So it's not just
moon cycles, crystals.
Moon
There's
cycle, using crystals.
So much energy.
There's a lot involved. It's so much fun. It's probably one of the fun parts I love to do. And they craft differently. They really do. They're in their total element when they're working in Mother Nature. Intuitive crafting can also be just them lying in the leaves on an autumn day and, developing beautiful, works of art in the sand or the soil, or gathering the leaves and creating these beautiful spirals. And we know what spirals are.
Yes, we do.
All you beautiful light workers and starseeds know about the spirals,
or
right?
It might be lining a whole heap of things up to make their own geometry out of it.
Geometry. You'll find a lot of that. Spirals, different geometry, codes.
Codes is a big one.
Code is a
if your
huge
child is constantly drawing things and it just makes no sense to you, it's probably coded.
Yeah. And so because of our knowledge and our own ability to do this work as well, but we've actually fine-tuned it. What the difference is, we're at a stage in our lives where we've been able to ground it, we accept it, and we've surrendered to it. And in that surrendering, we don't choose to fit in the mainstream world, but we understand it. We've lived it.
With compassion.
So we have a compassion for those that don't truly understand, and that's okay. But there has to be some form of protection as well. So understanding their essence, being in tune with that essence. Who is that? How do you describe it in a flower, in a tree? What is your essence? And we do a lot of this work. And it comes out beautifully in a lot of their crafting. We also do yoga. That's a little bit more with Martin. So Martin is a very gentle soul. He has a great ability to be very present with children, and he has a kindness and a very gentle touch. And that's really important, because if you've got a child that finds it difficult to connect to another human being, because they're up, in different altered states of reality, or they have, a lot of, say, ancestral lineage trauma pulsating in their veins. So they're the warriors that have come in. Hello, indigos.
Chainbreakers.
Yeah, they're on a mish. They're on a mission.
They're on a big mish.
So someone like Martin, he understands their languages, and so yoga for these beautiful starseeds is probably done slightly different to, say, a yoga class. Most starseed children wouldn't be able to, or wouldn't be bothered, or would find it extremely boring. Not all. Not the crystals. The crystals would probably love it. But us indigos, we get bored. We get bored. We want to go explore and conquer the world, So
Very
Martian's very good at creating these practices, these beautiful yoga practices, but that slightly individualized for each child. So you might have like 2 or 3 that are able to move in a certain way, but then you might have one child and their yoga practice is completely different. It could be like just hanging upside down on a tree and then having to lift themselves up very slowly.
Being mindful. Yeah.
So Martin does a lot of the yoga work, and we join in. We participate, and we also spend a lot of time individually with these children if they're off travelling somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because you have to remember, a lot of beautiful starseed children, they're off on different missions and inspirations, and that's why we come in, because we're like, yes, we know you're a butterfly scattered all over the place, fluttering around. So yet again, we're giving them the one-to-one attention from a great state of compassion and understanding, and we know how to ground in that inspiration. Doesn't mean we ask them to stop doing what they're doing, but we understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So a yoga position might take one child a lot longer than, say, the other children, and that's fine, because it may not be their mission.
Yeah, or they might react to a certain yoga pose,
absolutely,
and that sets them into like a past life or something like that.
Yeah,
but we will be able to see, know, and feel that.
Yeah. So understanding the child, how they're teaching us yet again, is really important. So we do have the beautiful children's yoga, and also Martin does a lot of the gorgeous plant-based healthy eating.
Yeah, amazing.
Yes. So at Shekinah 3, we have a gorgeous healing sanctuary, and at the front is the shop area, and at the back is what we call the more where we do a lot of our work and our services. And there's a kitchen area. It's only a small kitchen area. We have access to also this gorgeous community garden, which is literally 2 streets away.
Yeah, very blessed. Very blessed.
So because it's a communal garden, we go down there, we pick our herbs, we say hello to the beautiful herbs, and we also learn to grow our own vegetables, fruits, whatever it is. And we can do that in the community garden. So they allow people to participate in planting and also growing their beautiful herbs and vegetables. Or we can also buy and teach the children how to find really yummy produce, primarily organic. Now, we also understand organic isn't affordable for all families, so we also have to be realistic. So we teach them how to wash certain vegetables and fruits, things like that. Being very versatile, and practical is also important.
Absolutely.
So Martin is an incredible cook. Those that will be coming along to our pop-up cafe, which is coming up very, very soon, will also get to enjoy his incredible food. But those that do know Martin and have known him for many years know his incredible magic hands. He can produce, and I'm not exaggerating, like he's just...
It's literally an intuitive artwork taking place.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's so delicious, and he would love to teach your child how to cook some of these incredible foods.
Yes.
And so with his knowledge, and also he's got a background in, holistic foods and supplements and nourishing, a nourishing, holistic approach to eating. That all is incorporated with his foods.
Absolutely.
So your children get to eat what they cook. So it's not about going down to the supermarket, sorry.
No.
If they want to cook something that they love and enjoy, we make sure that we bring in a bit more balance and health to that as much as possible. We don't mind a little bit of what we call junk. And what we mean by that is if we're going to make fairy floss, which we will, we're going to make sure there's no sugar, and it's a natural fruit powder that we're using. So making it fun and healthy, and teaching them how to do it themselves.
And it tastes delicious.
And it's really, really, really good. So Martin, yeah. And of course, again, this is about you beautiful parents. You're there. You can join in. You can participate. You can do the yoga with your child. Absolutely. You can learn to do these wonderful exercises. You can do intuitive artwork and crafting. You can hang upside down on a tree. You can learn about your child.
Learn from them even. So
learn their language.
They will be so excited to teach you. They'll be like, look what I learned today.
Yes. So also we do breath work. So the breath work that I will be teaching is slightly different because it's catered around the heart and mind coherence. This is breath work that I teach children to help them to always come back into the body. So it's very important breath work. It doesn't mean that you lie on the ground and you breathe. Nope, not the way I teach it, because if you got an indigo to lie down on the ground and breathe, they would be off on I don't know what planet, and before you know it, they've channeled I don't know how many spirit souls, and they're reading everyone in the room, and then they've got to get up and do something else.
And crystals sometimes forget to breathe altogether.
And then crystals don't know how to breathe.
Oh, that's right.
Then you've got the rainbows, and they don't want to stop breathing and doing the beautiful breath work. They love lying there and being in beautiful la la land.
And then you got the diamond rays, but you're doing this all wrong. This is really how it goes.
Oh no, they'll be teaching us. The diamond rays that are coming in, they've already got it made. They'll be teaching us.
Absolutely.
They're the teachers of the world, of the future.
Yeah.
So they're the Lemurians, So there is breath work, and like I said, it's going to involve a different way of breathing. It also includes colour, healing, codes. It also asks you to move in a certain way, and breath work also involves movement and music. So it's very different to the way a lot of people, I suppose, do breath work. In beautiful rays of light, we do it differently. And the reason why we do it differently is because everything has to have a higher purpose. So if I'm going to move my feet, I need to make sure that I'm bringing in the codes as I'm moving.
Yeah,
it's got to be enjoyable, and it's got to have some significance to it. I'm not going to
Purpose.
just move my feet and then someone says, and that's going to ground you. Well, I can't feel it.
Exactly.
Well, and where's the evidence? That's the indigo, right?
Yeah.
So it's different. It's very different. So that's the breath work. Again, channeling. We actually encourage channeling.
Absolutely.
Channeling is different for different children. Some children are channeling 24 hours of the day. They're the ones that don't really like to use words. They find speaking extremely difficult. Sometimes they're labelled as, what are they usually? Autistic. They don't always know how to communicate the way we are conditioned to communicate. They're more on a telepathic level.
Absolutely.
So
Or they might even write like incredibly.
Dyslexic is another one.
Yeah. And vice versa.
Yeah, they find it like the words will jumble up and play and dance all over the place.
Or they might only communicate with the written word. They might not be able to articulate it in the same language that's here on Earth.
Yeah, that's also another one. They may understand ancient tongues and they're channeling and speaking in these different tongues. So it's not about saying that this is bad. It's about understanding it more and how are they going to use that the ancient tongue for the double mission. They have to learn to accept that they are here on a double mission. That's going to be the challenge for them. Yeah, that's going to be challenging. Because where's the evidence, right, really? All they know is they have these abilities and they don't understand them and nobody around them understands them. So we're there to help them through these challenges. So channeling is also something we teach. It's a really beautiful process that's going to build more sense of self and confidence, but from their essence, not from the persona that is built for them and through conditioning. They're not here to fit in. Again, we don't want them to fit in. We want to learn more from them. They're bringing in a new way of being, and we at Shekinah 3, Raise and Light Schooling Program, completely get it. And we are so honoured to have these children coming through. Absolutely. We want to make this world a safe and beautiful space where they get to express their full essence, again, without apologising, but being understood.
We want them to feel safe, secure and supported in their environment.
Supported.
Absolutely. And that they're not alone, because that's the main thing starseeds tend to feel, is they're alone.
Very alone. The other thing that I wanted to talk about that we also teach is nature play. And nature play is about learning all about the sacred elements and how to honour each sacred element. Also in that comes the beautiful goddess, the moon cycle herself. So we teach them about our own natural cycle as human beings. The process that I also teach, which is the block integration and freedom process. There is a natural ebb and flow to our nature that is always in the same harmony and vibration and frequency as the Mother Earth. So it's very important when they're playing in nature that they understand it from a place of honour and respect. In that, we also teach them about our beautiful ancestors, and we teach them about the history of their history.
Absolutely.
That is the starseed history.
The origin.
The ancient tongues, the Lemurians, Arcturians, the Pleiadians.
Lyrans. We could go on for hours. We could channel it all.
Yeah, and they will know exactly what we're talking about without even knowing why we understand. So history in how we've evolved and why we're here, that part of history is actually part of the nature play, because then we're learning about the spirits of the plants. We're learning about the cardinal directions of the wind and how we honor and respect each and every spirit, and what the spirits of the wind are teaching us, how to play in the wind.
How our body relates directly to the earth.
Absolutely. How to move in water, how to have ceremonial baths and play in water. All of it is in connection to our natural cycle. Yeah. How to be one in the presence of everything. How to be quiet and enjoy that quiet, and also not to be in any of these stimulations or lower dense vibrations, white noise, monkey chatter, and distractions of social media, whatever it is that's going on in this dysfunctional society. These rays of light, children, are vital to our survival on this earth. They're coming in to teach us how to play, right?
To raise vibrational frequencies as well.
Yeah, to raise our consciousness, to show us how to breathe, and how to play again, and how to dance in the rain, and to taste the essence of that.
How to love even unconditionally. Some are coming in with that knowledge.
Yeah. So it's very important that they learn how to play. Joy is the highest form of vibration. What crystal is that one?
So if I was going to go straight to the joy path, I'm going to go straight to citrine.
Yeah.
So very high in vibration. It brings in the essence of the sun, the fun.
Exactly. So, there's so much we can teach. It's exciting. So there is a lot involved in this schooling program, the Rays of Light. What we really want to say today, and if you, like I said earlier, if you get to see this video, this live stream much later on, we would love you to actually book with us a time where we can actually interact, bring in your beautiful child, and we can have a conversation about more of the details, more of what is involved in this gorgeous schooling program. We're so excited about it.
Super excited.
The reason our schooling program is different to other psychic schooling programs in the world is because, number one, I created it. And what I mean by that is I've done a lot of spiritual work. I'm an integrative spiritual counsellor, and I also raised 2 starseed children, so I'm also a mother. And I also went through my own personal experiences that have evolved my innate abilities and given me the opportunity to do this incredible work that I get to do at Shekinah 3 as a healer, as a seer. And it's different because I understand at a level that a lot of other teachers don't. It's not the mainstream spiritual formula. That's kind of a little bit outdated. And it's not coming from a place of saying that, the way that we work is better. What I'm saying is that we have learned from starseeds themselves. And
we just work differently.
Yeah, we work more into the golden age. Even the way that we read energy is very different. It's all with the intention of giving a form of transformation, of self-empowerment, helping you to go centered back into your inner guru. It's about empowerment, not about us.
Healing. Yeah.
It's not about us. It's we're there to hold the space and learn and grow and evolve. And so Rays of Light schooling program is very powerful because we have stepped into our power through our own human growth. And we've grounded our ability to be very strong and capable in a world that doesn't see us, it doesn't understand us, and it doesn't want to acknowledge us. And so we're seen a lot of the time in the normal world as something that is woohoo or dysfunctional in some way, labelled mental, someone who has mental health issues or whatever the labelling consists of. So it's not about they and us, it's about how do we, in this world, in this reality, where we've come from all of this dysfunction, judgment, and sometimes some really terrible bullying and,
It is an integration
trauma
of a them and an us. It makes the we.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're specialised in how to help them nurture their gifts, but also heal, how to heal. And that's what makes us different, because we're highly in tune with the intention to heal. We come from love. And as experienced psychics, seers, healers, professional in that area with so much experience, life experience on top of what we're expert and professional in, we are also starseeds.
Absolutely.
So how can you beat that,
We were those children that couldn't stop channeling, that were speaking to fairies and souls that haven't quite crossed over properly.
Properly.
See, English is very hard.
Properly. So the Rays of Light experience is one that we're, again, very excited about introducing to this beautiful world. It's part of the Shekinah 3 community we've created. We're a healing sanctuary in Brunswick, and we would love you to book in. Just all you have to do is book in and have a chat with Nardane, Martin and myself. Absolutely. And just enjoy the experience of seeing and feeling the support of how to truly,
your child happy.
Truly nurture their happiness and get to know your own essence even as a parent. Maybe there's a bit of breaking down that needs to be done on your own healing journey, and your indigo or your crystal or your rainbow or your diamond ray is teaching you how to become something different, getting you and preparing you for the new way, the new expansive, highly consciousness of this world, the golden world, right? So it's about you also participating and being part of this journey. So all you've got to do is just book. That's all you've got to do.
Follow us on Instagram and
Facebook. Facebook's very important. We do want a lot of followers on Facebook, only because we can't go live on Facebook unless you have a certain amount of people. And we're only kind of new to social media. We don't really function that great on social media. I've done a lot of social media work. I used to go under a different name, Gypsy's Heart. Hello, people out there that know me. So I've been doing this for a very, very long time. Having said that, when I created Shekinah 3, and I decided to come on social media, I had to start all over again. So I don't have the followers that we need yet. So we would love.
So
us
click that button.
at Shekinah 3, our beautiful community, for you to join us. We have also so much going on. So join us, be part of our newsletter as well. Come along to our healing circles, conversations with the seer. There's lots of events.
We also will be having rays of light bulbs as well.
Yeah. So that's what I want to talk about. The next thing we want to talk about is bulbs, like this one here. So let us introduce you to Xavier. There he is. Yeah. So Xavier's only 3 months old. Like literally today.
Yeah, literally.
And one day just got a vision then. He's going to see this.
He's going to look back. I just got this.
Did you get the same vision? He's going to look back on this.
Look back and say, hey, it was on my first time on camera.
Yeah. So Xavier is only 3 months. My goodness. Nardane's new to motherhood. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So the rays of light bulbs is something we are so excited also about to introduce to you beautiful parents out there. It's designed for newborns up into the age of 12 months. So it's kind of embracing their uniqueness and their gifts from the moment they're born, really.
Absolutely. Giving them a foot in the door a lot faster.
Yeah. So the Bubs schooling program, and what I mean by that, it's actually a play group, but there is a schooling program involved as well. So some of the things that we really love doing, both my children are much older now, but again is introducing some of this beautiful movement work. And what I'd love to do, and also I like to share with my clients, is a lot of trauma-based work where we're activating the vagus nerve, we're grounding our bodies after the experience of birth, and we're also using movement and music, and we also moving and enjoying the rocking and the movement, but still doing this trauma work, releasing, right? And also grounding and nurturing our beautiful bodies back into the Pachamama with our Bubs. So that's one thing that we do. The other thing we also do is we do want to go into some of the pressures that a spiritual parent goes through when you decide to be a parent, and even the whole process of birth itself, the Western birthing system. Then we go into immunization. Sometimes there's the fear of raising your child in, say, a plant-based diet. There's a lot involved in being a spiritual parent and raising your beautiful newborns.
Absolutely.
And so we discuss a lot of that. We also spend time in these beautiful play groups, sitting around, drinking our chai that we've created, our kombucha that we make.
That's what we've been drinking throughout the video. Delicious.
Yeah.
Courtesy of Martin.
So that's also part of the play group. We also do have these gatherings where it's also about sharing, and
us holding the space.
Yeah. Would you like to share one experience for you that has been really challenging, Nardane, being a spiritual mother?
Yes. So I have been in parent groups, and again, it triggered the starseed in me, realizing I was completely different from every other parent in the group and how I did things differently. But then me being intuitive and knowing that it's actually okay for me to be different and still be amongst the mundane. So I get it when, just say you want to have your child on a plant-based diet. Here's one, for example. And people really look at you, they're like, vegan? Don't they need meat in their diet? Don't they need a balance of this, that? How do they get their iron? So
there's a lot of judgment.
A lot of judgment. And it's not that it was intentional, but they just didn't have the awareness that they were in judgment. So yeah, it was very, very judgmental. But then, so I just, that's an example. I'm choosing for my child to be brought up a vegan. There's example for you.
It's what we call compassionate living.
Yes, because
we choose compassion.
Understand that the sentients and the animals here on the earth, they're not just here to be food.
Well, no, we have conversations with them.
And we talk with them. They can be allies, they can be friends.
They can be our spirit animals.
Absolutely. And it's just knowing that there's more than what meets the eye. And we open that sacredness in a circle formation, and we talk about that. We talk about what you're struggling with. My child is waking up and I know they're having these innate dreams and they're waking up and they're making this sound, or they've started talking really early and, I don't know, something could come up.
And using more of a holistic approach to, then like how their nervous system is developing. So, if you get to breastfeed, for example, which not all mothers get to breastfeed, but if you are, for example, you taking certain herbs, like at the moment, Nardane, you're taking herbs, and it goes through her breast milk, and slippery elm is what Nardane's taking, because Xavier was getting a lot of congestion, coughing, nasal, mucus, and because we understand where that's coming from, so that's lineage stuff that's coming through now.
Absolutely.
He's 3 months, and so he's now starting to develop a sense of identity.
And as a Ray child, he also, or in particular, without like going into a full label, diamond rays that come in also do a lot of environmental transmutation. So they will be prone to sickness, they'll be prone to tiredness, they'll be prone to a lot more than what a child that's not as connected will go through. So
and just it's learning to use a different approach with a lot of faith and trust, because we understand this is your child's health, for example.
Absolutely.
So using this more holistic approach, spiritual parenting, with the beautiful play groups that the Rays of Light Bubs is providing, these holistic approaches are really great. It's kind of going back to a lot of the old ways of doing things,
Very ancient.
Very ancient, very nourishing ways to be with your child and to help them through a lot of their own changes, their nervous system developing, identifying with their environment, creating a sense of identity, personality. We also do, that's why the exercise, some of the exercises is trauma-based, because we believe in the incarnations. We believe that we are the ancestors, and we do a lot of family lineage trauma. I specialise in that specific area. So, if we're dealing with a lot of throat issues, we're dealing with grief. What 3 month...
and digestive issues.
And digestive, but But really, there's no grief really that Xavier's really experienced as what we would call grief.
No,
as
past
adults.
life and lineage.
Yeah, so what's coming up for him, what he's transmuting in the body, and what his nervous system is learning to really let go of, we help.
And then readjust.
And and integrate, and then strengthen.
Yeah, absolutely.
What we're doing then, we have that awareness and we talk about it in the play groups, and we teach the parents how to work through that and to transmute that energy within their own bubs, in their own little babies.
And we're not saying by any means that there's no place at all for Western medicine.
No, we're not saying that.
Because there is. Sometimes you might have to do a dual healing using both methods. But yeah, so that was just a point. We want to make that clear, that we're not saying that there's not a place for Western medicine. We're just saying that this is another alternative approach.
Yeah, well, I don't even like the word alternative. What I mean is I like the word holistic, because it's not actually alternative. What's alternative is actually more Western medicine.
Yeah, true.
What's considered alternative, and I think what Nardane was trying to say, is that what's considered not in the Western practice.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, because some people, use the word alternative medicine a lot, and I don't like it. I don't. I think I love the word holistic and wellness and wholeness, and that's what we practice, and that's what we hope to also teach and share with other parents that have newborns, is a more holistic and nourishing way to nurture not just yourself but your beautiful babies. Another thing that we teach in the play group is the bonding process. Sometimes after giving birth to our beautiful babies, we can feel slightly disassociated, and whatever was not resolved, whatever emotions were not released, where there was no integration process that has occurred. And what I mean by that is all that unresolved trauma, pain, suffering that may have been sitting there under the surface. I guarantee your hormones, once you give birth, will present them. And they'll present, them way up into the surface. And then we go into these, postpartum terrible states, right?
And really extreme overwhelm as well.
Absolutely. So I'm talking from experience. I went there with my second child, and I was extremely blessed and very fortunate that I had spiritual intervention and assistance, and I was able to read the energy and work myself through my own cosmic universal web. And what I mean by that was I was able to trust and really ground my energy while still being the mother that I wanted to be. And that is all about a lot of, practice. It's practicing a sense of what I call inquiry and mindfulness. It's also about nourishing your body and harmonizing the hormones. So it can't be done alone. What is really sad in this Western community is that a mother, after she gives birth, is pretty much left with the responsibility of taking care of herself, her needs, and her babies. In the play group, the Beautiful Rays of Light Bulbs play group, we understand that community is vital. Not just for
it takes a community to
us
raise a child
as the parent,
really
but for the babies. Babies need connection. They need happy, balanced mothers. They're able to work through their own trauma bodies, re-establish a very happy frequency of joy, harmony, inner peace within their sympathetic bodies. There's a harmony going on, and that's supported by us because we're experienced with that. We're experienced in the symptoms of depressive states and how the hormones work. Now, okay, I'm not a qualified, doctor, but in my own experience and how I healed myself after the second child, I feel gives me a lot of wisdom, and I was able to move that into the work that I do now as an integrative spiritual counsellor. So I work a lot with women.
And we're not doctors, but we are physical mediums.
Yes, we are. And we value that.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic being a physical medium.
Sometimes it's a bit much. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's a bit much too sometimes. Yeah.
Let's be honest. No, it does. It can be very overwhelming at times.
Yeah, so they're just a couple of little things we do in the play group. We love also involving Hertz music. So we love to bring in different sounds and music frequencies to help the beautiful bub with whatever's coming up for them. So intuitively, again, we're tuning in, we're bonding with the child, we're having these telepathic communications. We're all about trusting the bonding. We teach bonding. We teach to trust the language of your beautiful child. And there is a language, there is a communication occurring. You just have to trust it. And so we teach how to really use the heart-to-heart bonding, and we can do it in a written form, we can discuss it verbally, however we choose to express that beautiful communication is perfect, but that's part of what we also do. It's very important to bond with your child because there's going to be times when they're older where they're unable to truly express themselves. If you've got that innate connection, you've got that bonding, they don't need to. You know your child, you know what's going on, and it's enhancing that knowingness. It's the soul-to-soul bond in physical form. It's an honour to be able to raise these children.
Absolutely.
It's an honour to be someone's parent. So the Bubs, the beautiful Bubs play group is about that. It's an honouring. It's a form of service, and we want to support beautiful spiritual mums that are really finding it difficult to fit in again. In a different stage of their lives. These are starseeds within themselves that have become parents, and now they're like, hey, where are all the other starseed parents?
Why am I alone? Why am I doing this? Hello, Zovian. It's like I'm shy.
So that's also something that we are doing, and you can learn a lot more about the Shekinah 3 schooling program for the beautiful rays of light and the Bubs play group on our page in Facebook. And also we do a lot of posting here on Instagram. If you want to have a bit more of a chat about the play group, or if you know of anyone that would love to be part of this, it will be a fortnightly play group at Shekinah 3 in Brunswick, and also it will be in Coburg on a Friday at the pop-up cafe that we're creating. So it's all about beautiful spiritual parents,
community
coming
connection
together, and then when they get older they join the schooling program that we also run. So it's about really supporting spirituality
and bringing in those close soul bonds as well, and knowing
and
that
teaching spiritualism, not from an ego state.
Absolutely, over the ego state spirituality. It's too much.
being open to learning from these children. They're the ones that are teaching the new way of being. As spiritualists, we also have to evolve. We have to be expansive and open. And these children need us. They need us to evolve. As we are illuminating the path forward, it's also about understanding that the way that we illuminate has to come from a higher purpose. It's not about sharing from, a place that is going to make sure that you're seen or validated. We don't even need that. It's not about validation. It's about validating your child. Absolutely. It's about them seeing themselves and not going to anything outside of that essence to find the joy, to find the permission to be fully in their power. Social media...
To know they're enough. They are enough.
And that they are enough. Social media takes us away. This platform that we're on right now, it takes away the intimacy and the vulnerability to be human. And these children are coming in, and what are the parents doing?
Here's an iPad. Here you go. Here's my phone. Oh, you're crying, having a tantrum. Take it. It's going to make you feel better. I can hear all the voices in my head. Sorry.
They're doing that, whatever that is. And the child is saying,
when I grow up, I want to be that smartphone.
Yeah, I want to be that smartphone.
My mum and dad pay so much attention to that technology. Let me be that.
So technology, once upon a time, let's go back, technology has a really wonderful place on Earth where, even in the Lemurian age, it created with a force that was primarily from the heart. So it meant that we controlled the what do you call them? These technical advancements. We controlled it. The problem was in the Atlantis time that the ego wanted more and more and more.
Greed.
There was no cycle to it. There was no balance, and it over-tipped itself. It wasn't serving us. That's what I mean by being over, like over-tipping. There's no service in it. It became about an advancement with no heart. Yeah. So we are kind of stuck in this way of thinking. Yeah. And these beautiful children are coming in and teaching us that there is a different way to use technology even.
Yeah, to heal people,
It's about learning the balance like we used to do it, in the Lemurian age. So we're not saying technology is terrible, it's bad, but we don't use technology around our children.
There's definitely a misuse of it.
Yeah. We don't use it around our children. And what I mean is that if I'm having a conversation with my beautiful newborn, I don't have the phone on. I don't even have it near me. It's not even part of what I'm relating to. I'm primarily focused in the bonding of my child. That bonding is the co-creation with spirit. It's what's going to create the new age. That's our mission. That's what we want to strengthen. The essence of that, the love. So we look forward to meeting you all, and we thank everyone that has joined us, and really given themselves the opportunity in time to be part of what's being created. We want to bring in an evolved sense of spirituality. We want to become even better versions of ourselves. And what that means with us of Shekinah 3 is for your joy and
presence in that joy as
and
well.
the presence.
The presence is so important.
Yeah, the presence of that joy, you know. We want that presence to be expressed.
Absolutely.
We want to get to know it. We want to see it dance and have fun. We want you to live your life and just say, I'm living, and that's enough. And
The path of joy.
yeah, the path of joy.
Absolutely. What lights you up?
And Shekinah is a Hebrew word. It actually means the dwelling of the divine. And she's known as the feminine goddess. So this is about embracing the feminine, bringing her back in her power. And this is an agenda thing, okay?
No. We all have feminine energy. There's no gender.
It's about bringing in the balance, beautiful beloved ones, okay? Our children need a new way of nurturing. Get it? And when you've come from the dysfunction of the imbalance, where the mother has been strangled to death because she has had to suppress her fierceness,
Yes.
it was never honoured, it was never allowed to grow, it was never allowed to be the force of nature that it was supposed to F and be.
Absolutely.
That's a like beep.
Beep, beep.
If it's not allowed to be the mother who can be fierce and be in balance,
Be in a power.
with the unconditional love, loving without condition, giving, being of service, in the ebb and flow of what is, right? If there is not the balance with the divine masculine, who says, I'm getting out of the way and I'll do exactly what it takes to bring that into fruition, into action, for the greater good, for our children, for our community, for those that are yet to come, and in honour of our ancestors of light. If we do not do this as parents for our beautiful children, what opportunity are they going to be open to when they're born? These
What world
rays
are they
of
going
light.
to grow up in? Well,
Yeah.
I'm really having trouble communicating today.
Yeah, these rays of light.
What world do
What's
you want
the
for your
opportunity for them?
child? Yes.
What's the opportunity?
Not one with joy.
If we're still living in trauma-based dysfunction and we're still fighting within ourselves, we don't take responsibility for the war,
Lay down that weapon.
and we don't say sorry, thank you, I love you, with compassion and true compassion, and surrender to what the hell's going on, you know, and just go, you've got this, mother. If we don't surrender to the mother,
And trust.
then we're in big trouble. So at Shekinah 3, we embrace all our masks, every single one. That was one I just wanted to express. That's my fierceness. That's the indigo. That's the...
The one show up. The waiver.
She's the one that says, get the F out of the way. I'm taking over. This is how it's done, because I trust in the divine and the mother.
And then the crystals come in. Let me share the love.
And then Nardane comes in and she goes, oh.
Let's add some love.
And then I go, gentle, gentle, Rosa. Harmony, do not bite your tongue. Or should I bite my tongue? So it's about embracing all our masks.
Absolutely.
And as starseeds, It's very important that we embrace all aspects of ourselves, our psyche, if you want to go into psychology, because I've gone down that path as well.
No, thank you.
Those aspects of your psyche that we go, I don't like being fierce, I don't like being loud, I don't like being angry.
The shadows, actually.
Yeah, get rid of it. Women aren't supposed to do that. We're supposed to be kind, generous, loving, and all that stuff. So, learning to teach our beautiful children that we're multi-talented. It's a talent
multifaceted
to be able to lead the way and know what you're doing without apologizing for it. Because, like Joan of Arc said, what did she say? She's one of my favorite archetypes. Goddesses. She said, because I was born to do this.
Absolutely.
And an indigo will say that. I just don't know.
That should be like the line.
An indigo will say that.
I was born to do this.
I was born to do this, so move out of the way. I'm here to make life a better world.
You should let me love you.
And then you've got the rainbows. Yeah. Then you've got the rainbows that will come in. Yes. So all those essences we celebrate, but we do need to really understand that we are actually in a form of desperation. And the desperation isn't a pressure. Please don't get me wrong. The desperation is that there is a lot of pain, and we are at a core deep level suffering. Because if I don't live my life the way you want me to live my life, then sometimes that judgment can be really, really, can be very detrimental to my state of mind and my being. And at Shekinah 3, we're not about judgment. We understand. We understand the dysfunction, we understand the trauma, and we understand the ego tendencies of a spirituality that has gone absolutely haywire. And it's gone haywire. Ground yourselves. Be human. Come from a state of love and compassion. And with that love and compassion, we can teach these beautiful, loving souls to lead the way. They're supposed to lead the way, and we're supposed to learn from them, not the other way around.
Yeah.
You know?
Children are the greatest teachers of the future.
Yeah. And like I said, the reason why we are very good at what we do, especially when it comes to the Rays of Light schooling program, and why I crafted it many, many years ago after my second child was born. And that's how long ago, you know, I wanted to do this in my my early 30s. And the reason why it came to me was the same situation. Nothing's changed. Nardane's still going through it. And I was in a play group thinking, what am I doing here? And then I ended up trying, well, I didn't mean to, but typical indigo, I ended up running it, you know.
It's such a freaking indigo thing to do. I'm in there saying, I'm feeling all these feelings. And you're like, well, this is how we're going to do it.
And so what I mean by running it was that I had to do it my way.
That's what she's actually talking about.
And I created my own play group, you know. So here I am again. I'm creating another play group again, and you know, a schooling program that's come from experience. I want to really move out of the way. I want to learn from these beautiful, inspiring souls in all of their differences, neurodiverse, autistic, sensitive, psychic, whatever you want to effing call them. Like, seriously, these are the golden children. Wow, like, they're so amazing. Sometimes I see, sometimes I'm having these telepathic communications with these children, that are experiencing life at such a high frequency, yet we're judging them for it because their bodies are going through this, spasm of Kundalini energy. I used to have to hide that.
Same.
I used to have to hide these downloads, I had to hide these downloads, and I see these children and the parents, and they're like embarrassed for them, or people don't want to look, and I'm thinking to myself, don't worry, I know exactly what's going on with you.
Absolutely.
You're so high on the mother. You're so high on this frequency that the body is communicating, it's so beautiful. We want to celebrate the diversity of these starseed children. We do not want to suppress them any longer.
No, we want to embrace the differences.
Nope. So let's balance out this beautiful Shekinah 3. Let's be part of a community that supports the new rays of light.
Absolutely. We're excited.
So if you'd like to know more about the program, the play group, Nardane and I will be running the play groups again on a fortnightly basis. The information again is on Instagram and also on Facebook. Join us, follow us. Like I said,
have the play group,
we need the following.
Once a fortnight, we'll have weekly meetups on a Friday.
Yeah, so we are trying very hard to get off the social media. Yeah. We want to bring back community, more connectiveness. If you've got a child, we don't want to stick them in front of this thing.
No.
Like, seriously. Some people are talking about groups and, doing a lot of this sort of work, play groups online. Oh, seriously? I'm not doing play groups online.
The human experience is about the physical. Where's the touch? Where's the interaction? It's not real.
Yeah, like I said, it's bringing back the vulnerability and the intimacy, and let's stop being afraid of it. Yeah. Let's be open to our differences. Let's challenge ourselves in spirituality. Let's become more new in the newness that's happening through these beautiful bubs, through their eyes. We're learning. We hope that we can also help you to be open to learning. Absolutely. As well, So many blessings, beautiful ones. Again, follow us. Do all that social media stuff, likes and love hearts.
Yeah, what did they say? Click the like button or something. Click that like button.
There should be a heart button. Click the heart button.
There should be a love one. Yeah. Let's change that. Click the love button.
I do want to say hello to Emma. Hi, Emma.
Hi.
And Anthony. Hi, beautiful Anthony. With so much love to you, beautiful soul. And to World Healing Day. Hi, who's also joined. And Martin, who's watching us as well.
And to all those that are yet to watch this.
So we do apologise for our mediocre social media sort of knowledge, but we don't really care.
At least you know how to turn it off.
I do have some experience, I will admit. That's only because I was, forced to do it years and years ago. But we do apologise. We love you all. You are all beautiful essences of soul. Do not forget how precious you are. And we are so excited about these schooling programs and beautiful bub play groups. And we just really want to do this. And we hope we get your support. And we hope to teach and love your children. And
I just heard a message through, and there's a little bit of a riddle. Gotta love how Spirit does that. Love the you that's you.
Love the you that's you.
Yes.
Many blessings, beautiful souls. Much love and much light.
Much sacred gratitude.
And essence, beautiful essence. And a bit of light language. Osa ranina gosha lava. Unsa delina arana ola. Your turn.
All right, let's do a awakening activation then, shall we?
Yeah, let's do a quick one.
Right.
Yeah.
Anayana sayanayana we namo namo namiya. Many blessings. Ciao.